Hey guys, and welcome back to Kaleidoscope Literacy. Since this podcast is on Spotify and also YouTube. Hi, people of YouTube. I thought I should, since I'm making a wrap with my shorts, I should also make a wrap on podcasts where I go through the books that I read, which were 129. I know you don't update on Spotify often. You read 129 books. Why haven't you published podcast episodes? I have no idea. I'm just going to blame it on one of my disabilities. I don't know. So we're going to re-look at Teaching the Torches to Burn. No, it's Teach the Torch to Burn, which is a remix classic. Remember, it had it's part of a series written by individual authors where they remake classical stories. So the one thing I'm going to immediately say about this remix is I love the fact what they did with Romeo. I love Shakespeare, but I'm more of a Tempest and a Midsummer Night's Dream, just because it's my flavor of Shakespeare that I'm a fan of. But Teach the Torches to Burn fixes the one issue I have so bad with Romeo, which is, why the heck is Romeo such a romantic? Like, why is he so loved with the concept of love? Which is why everyone's like, oh, he's such a playboy. And then he dated Rosaline in the original version, but in fact, Rosaline didn't actually have a thing for him, and he wanted to be with Rosaline, but it never worked out, and Rosaline dumped him. That kind of stuff didn't really make sense in the original Romeo and Juliet. In the remake, Romeo is gay. Like, he's out and proud about it, because again, speaking about it's been written in, he's not out and proud about it. But he's fully aware that he's a deviant. He's attracted to men, and so the people won't acknowledge the fact that he's a gay individual. He's made himself to be a romantic, it's like someone who's just in love with the concept of love. And the fact that he chooses Rosaline to be the person he is deeply in love actually makes a ton of sense. And it's even more hilarious in this version because Rosaline in this version has a vow of silence and has zero interest in speaking, like doing any of that kind of stuff. And so everyone in his group, his friends, are just pushing him to try to give up on Rosaline and fall in love with another person. And the fact that Juliet is asexual, and they kind of connect over the fact that they're two queer people, kind of like I Wish I Was a Wall, which is where a romantic woman has to deal with arranged marriages, and she decides to get married to a gay man so they can respect both of each other, and it also helps that she loves boy love stories. But in the Romeo and Juliet, they again connect over the fact that they're not alike everyone else. Juliet is very much coined as aromantic, asexual, and the story allows her to be aromantic and asexual, which is something I can't say for Stupid Cupid, which I will talk about. That will be age restricted for reasons, because again, it's erotica. But Teaching the Torches to Burn allows Juliet to be asexual and aromantic, and she's a businesswoman. She wants to be the head of the merchants in her family. Because again, I also love the whole fact that the two families are rivals because of merchant deals is a thing. It's not the big part of the rivalry, but the merchants part wasn't explored in the original Romeo and Juliet. Teaching the Torches to Burn, it's a main aspect of the desires of both Romeo and Juliet. That is so incredible. They're connected to that. Romeo doesn't want to be a merchant. He wants to, be an artist and write poems and do paintings. He wants to be a happy, queer individual. And he's so artistic and he's so happy about that. They make his love interest an original character who is younger sibling to another character And there's a whole thing of him faking his death, and there's sword fighting, which is like great and fantastic. Like I was kind of worried that they would. I had two worries when I originally read the book. My first worry was that they would just make Juliet into a dude, and I'm like, please don't do that. Juliet has her own aspect that are really fascinating and interesting because Bane, her, she's not taken seriously because she's just a teenager. She's like 17 or something. There's a whole new original story. Oh, she's finally stopped breastfeeding. That's a literal joke in the original version. But the fact that she's a young girl in this, and so that's why she's not taken seriously, is fantastic. And the fact of the matter, that unlike her, Romeo is already being pushed for like an arranged marriage and stuff, is hilarious. He either has to do an arranged marriage, and it's not like he has to get married at that time, because again, he's a teenager, or he has to start a merchant guild because he's way too much into his art and poems, and that's not going to help with like the finance or the well-being of his family. So he has to decide what he has to do for the well-being of his family, and that's hilarious. And that's so realistic for a lot that kind of type of family in that era, that his family's pushing him to think about his fortunes of the family. And I adore that aspect of it. I adore the fact that they make it clear that the marriage wasn't considered. Also, the reason why they make the secret marriage makes much more sense in the remake than the original. Because there's events that happen that, if events keep going in the way they are, Romeo may be killed. Like, he might get the death sentence for a reason. And so, as a way to deal with the crime he committed, it's not really what he did, but there was a whole situation. If I remember correctly, because I read it in the beginning of the year, so my memory's off. They don't do they don't get married for romance. They do it for political reasons. And I adore the ending. The ending is so precious and sweet, and it has a happy ending, which is the greatest aspect of it. Unlike the original, they have a happy ending, and it's a real love story this time. The original was very much a dark comedy, which I said so in my podcast episode. Just want to put this back again. The original Romeo and Juliet was conceived as a dark comedy. It was never considered at the time period like a romance. It was like supposed to make you laugh, and then you're supposed to go like, "Wait, he's gonna die in the beginning," because before the play would start, they would announce like these guys are gonna die at the end of this play. So yeah, it's one of the reasons I like the original better. I mean, the remake better. The original's fine, but it's not one of my top favorites. But the remake made it into a romantic comedy. It did take out the dark elements a little bit, but it really made it into a romantic comedy. And it's delightful and sweet, and I kind of want to watch it as a film. It's almost as good as the gay remake of Midsummer Night's Dream. They made a gay version of Midsummer Night's Dream. It doesn't follow the plot exactly, but it follows the idea of the concept of Midsummer Night's Dream. It's hilarious, and I adore it, but Teaching the Torches to Burn, probably, as of right now, because I haven't read the only two ones I read that are gay versions of Shakespeare is the Midsummer Night's Dream parody and Teaching the Torches to Burn. But Teaching the Torches to Burn has won a place in my heart as for one of the romance that I love, and I want to reread again and again. So yeah, I'm super glad that I read it this year. Probably will try to find reasons to read it next year, but I have so many books in my shelf, in the hundreds probably, that I read, that I probably won't have time. But hopefully, yeah, I might make another one. Just like, oh my gosh, I saw this, I'm reading it again, but I probably won't. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Teaching the Torches to Burn. I re-look at it. So yeah, I'm going to be publishing maybe 3 videos a day for the rest of December, mostly because I want to share as many of the books that I read this year have like moved me. And I'm doing that in the shorts as well, but I felt that I should also do it for a podcast. So if you're on YouTube and you see the shorts, because they're going to come out first, I'm going to connect them to the longer videos. And the longer videos are also connected to the shorts if you don't want to like spend 10 or 12 minutes with me as I ramble about my favorite books of this year. Okay, see you guys later.